twice a day, every day.
I know.
It's,
Perfect.
yeah.
So I can actually look at you instead of squint at you. There we go. I'll put my back this way.
Just so you know, you're going to be recorded all weekend.
Oh, for God.
The whole thing.
Perfect. I have to turn the sound off when I say ridiculous things. I'm just kidding. We can both do it. Okay. So I don't think we were going to leave yet. Don't tell me what you are. It was beautiful light.
It is the only thing that has worked on her.
Yeah.
And we've struggled for years.
It doesn't make sense to me because I feel like the gaps would move and it would pinch, but it never does. So
Yeah.
they were on something. Okay, so we'll start. Did you write the tomorrow again? Yes. Yeah, tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So we have two, which is great. I think I see everybody at least twice.
At least,
so
yeah.
That means that we can kind of
Except for
build on
Lindsay,
that.
I think, is the only one.
Yeah, and I don't have to I don't tend to rush through things anyway. Okay. But it helps, so we can sort of get started today, get to know each other, and start to develop a nice feeling, and then we'll build on it tomorrow. Okay. So you can start your warm up the way you normally start it. Okay. So if you want to walk for 5 minutes and then you're going to pick up the trot or halfway walking and you're ready to start trotting, that's fine with me. So I need to sort of see where we're starting, and then I'll start throwing new shots at everything. Okay? I do talk a lot. I do, because I say a lot of things. If you don't catch something or something doesn't make sense, feel free to interrupt me and ask me to explain it again or a different way. Because I'm happy to kind of reframe things and do stuff. But because I get chatty sometimes, if you're not sure if you can interrupt me, you absolutely can. So, all right? Good. So even right there in the walk, it's a little bit forward from me. Which, okay? A lot of folks consider. But I don't want her running over her feet. So when we get too quick in the walk, we introduce tension before the rest of it starts. Which means that she kind of has to throw her legs, and she's got nice long legs, which ends up dropping her back before you even pick up the trot. So I want to keep her on her own balance, on her own kind of four-wheel drive, so she feels like she can keep her back raised underneath you all the time. Good. That's right on the edge of how forward I want. And I know sometimes it's going to be kind of crazy because we put your leg on go forward, your leg on go forward. But I find a lot of times, especially right off the mounting block, you can introduce so much tension without intending to. Right. So you're kind of thinking, I want you to stay in front of my leg, I want you to, keep going forward, especially horses that maybe are bigger horse than you started with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, am I looking at? Still a little bit quick. Again, she's got really long legs. She's going to cover ground anyway, right? But I don't want her to feel like that's better. If you want her to sort of relax just a tiny bit, then you need to sort of back. I don't want her. I ride a horse that's much more open and much more up.
I don't ever want her to throw down, but I just want her to kind of feel like she's using the top of her back, not the bottom of her neck. And when she gets running too fast, they start to jut the chest out and down. The head comes up, and then you have that tension that kind of feels like she's holding her jaw like this, right? Then we don't have flexion, we don't have bend, we don't have suppleness, we don't have any of those things. So this is better. So I kind of need and especially at the lower level, basic level. But I want a horse to kind of look like that royal level hunter. You know what I mean? Like those aggregation, those pack class really hunters that feel themselves like this. They are technically uphill, but they are fairly level, right? They're over their back. They look like giant metronomes, right? They look like robots. That's kind of where dressage needs to start before we get to the collection pieces, right? They have their own speed, their own swing speed, they have their own balance, they have their own suppleness, and they kind of work on their own system while the rider sits up there and looks pretty, right? Hunters are very good at just sort of making these horses that go around and this is my trot and this is my cannon. Now, dressage is going to introduce a little bit more difference within the gates, right? We have collected gait, we have extended gait, and they're in between. But as a base starting point, I want you to picture those really high level, well-ridden, properly ridden hunters. Yeah, that are just a little bit more neutral. Because even now, her pole is still the highest point, right? But she doesn't need to be like collected all the way up and squished into some sort of outline to keep an uphill balance. She can do it right here. This is better. There, now her back leg starts to come underneath her belly a little bit more. And she feels she gets a little bit more of this in her head and neck. A little bit more oscillation through her forward body, right? She's like a fish in the water. You want her to she's just going to pass away for some head, right? So the whole spine has to be uninterrupted so that the body can move. Horses are the same, right? We have to stay off their face, we stay off their neck, we stay off their whole front end, and we relax the back end enough to get the hind end underneath to spring load the power to carry up through the spine. So we have to get out of the way just a little bit. You're still up there saying, if I touch you with my leg, I want you to feel a reaction, right? And you're still gently guiding what direction she travels. But for the most part, you want her on her own legs and carrying you around the leg, right? Yeah, this is better. Good. See, she's a little bit, now she's a little bit loose. She kind of had a couple of moments where she's almost a little over at the knee, kind of like, whoa, right? But I want her to confidently feel every step. That's better. We want nice, happy, squishy, balanced feeling all the way around the ring. So whenever you're ready, you can pick up trot. I don't care if you go around the ring, you can do a circle, if you feel like you need to do a walk transition, whatever you need to do. Just kind of nice, gentle, warm-up trot. Each direction, You have to cut it through middle. If I don't, it's on me, not you. Good. Oh, she's lovely. That looks like a very nice thought. To rub it. Right, yeah. It's probably good. This is a better metronome than walk. The trot is more right off the bat. 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Good girl. Good. Go being soft and supple in that way, right? I really do not care what her head does. I care more that when you start to warm up, you kind of introduce your legs, you can create a nice sit in, you know, all of those nice things. She doesn't need to be round for me. She doesn't need, I have none of those expectations, okay? I want a nice feeling with a soft and supple horse. Kind of naturally hold the head a little bit more on this left side. Yeah, so just a little bigger on the circle on this one.
So in both directions, a little tight against that right now.
A little squish, a little wiggle on the right. Good. Drop some foot. Again, be careful when you need to walk. Go ahead and walk. So there, the walk transition, you're a little over your knee. So when she walked, you kind of landed at the front of your saddle. Had to readjust, then put your leg off, and then send it forward, right? So while we're trotting around, I want you to kind of just loosen the feeling a little bit through your knee so that you more naturally balance down through the center and towards the back of your leg. If you have nice long legs, right? So if we get caught over our knee, we lose the connection to the front end, right? Because we end up, even though you're not like clamping your leg on, but even when we sort of just get slightly on our toes, our knees close and we drop the shoulder a little bit. And then we get a horse that's just slightly tighten the neck because they can't fully lift up through the wither. So you're just ahead of yourself when you're close to your right. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's say this again. Yep. Okay. So when you're trotting, if I took a picture of you, right? So this is a nice thing to see. You are just here, right? So your heel comes up a little bit. You're just a little bit over your knee, and you can see it in the downward transition. So when she walked there, you kind of did a little wobble, and then you sat back down, and then you closed your legs. So the transition kind of went like this, and then you went, oh crap, I got to close the legs, I got to send her forward because she kind of, it's like kind of a clutch a little bit, right? Then you close your legs, and then you took this big step after, and then went forward to the walk. So you can correct it, right? When you felt the wobble, and you were like, oh, we need to come forward through it. But it happened because you are just like, you're not over your knees, like you're not like this, but you're just using your knees to balance there. So you don't have to pull your knees down. It's there as a guide, not as a rest. So if you can feel your knee roll, if you can feel that you're over your knee, okay? You should come more down. This should stay nice and open. If it dies, you kind of keep your leg back. Because like you have a really nice long leg and very nice natural position. Right here where your leg is, right under your head, and it's great. So you want to feel like you're kind of really anchoring down through your knees when you're close. Okay. You're not using your quads too close. You use your glutes too close. Right? So it's anchoring so that our seat stays light, so that these are big muscles in the leg, right? So those stay disengaged and out of the way, because if you close your knees together, and close your shoulders together, and then I block the front of the horse. Does that make sense? You want to feel like there's a nice big bubble right here in the center of the calf. And you want to like a yo-yo. You fit your chest or feet, right? You fit a nice big yo-yo right in the shoulder. You're going to put yourself behind it. You're going to keep your knees open, and you're going to allow her.
So I'm curious if it's like a yellow like this.
Just, not like off the saddle, but just relax. Okay? I don't want you to feel just spreading your hips off the way. You're just disengaging your quads, letting yourself down through your things that like anchors on your butt. That's a big shift. Right? You're going to pull your hips down, and that's going to pull the waves a little bit. The ship doesn't actually move. Right? So as you're walking here, you're just going to feel. It's just enough that you don't feel like you're on your knees. It's not a big change in your body. So that when you do your transitions, you're not over the shoulder and you're not weighting the front end of the horse. Right? She's a large horse and you're a petite rider. So it's not like you're way over on her shoulders or anything. But even, they can, And the whole point of massage is to get a more rebalance on the strong behind you. So we have to get all of the weight off the front. We have to keep all of the weight behind the litter and down to the center of the saddle, which is the balance point. Good. Yeah, even here, make sure the block doesn't get too big. I want her to feel purposeful in her steps, but not rushed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So a solid 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Not 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's too much. Okay? She's got big legs. It takes her a minute to pick them up and put them down. Good. Yeah. Right here. Just close your right leg. So you notice she kind of sits against your right leg. Yeah. You kind of take that turn, and that right shoulder comes in on the wall. So I want you to gently kind of massage that right brain a little bit so that you feel that she chews with the right side of her jaw and relaxes behind her ear. Yeah. I don't want a half pulse, like I'm not asking for roundness, I'm asking for suppleness. Good. So even right here, just a little touch on that brain to kind of squish it and release it, and squish it and release it. You are now her physiotherapist. We found a very small knot in the right side of her neck, and you're going to help her work it out, right? She needs to feel like squishy, warm chewing gum on the right side, right? She's never against you. She's never, pushing the shoulder or pushing the neck against the brain. When you look down to your brain in front of you, the neck should fall in the center of all of them. She tends to hold base of the neck just kind of slightly against the right. Okay. Walk down to the fit. See how she kind of just rushes against it? I want her to slow down. I want her to think. I want her to feel safe in her body. I want her to trust your hand in your seat to help her. Yeah, to help her balance good. And you don't even need to really bend her neck. You just kind of need to see her eyelashes and the side of her nose.
So I'm kind of thinking that in that way.
Yeah, and she's gonna kind of go, whoa, like this. So the ideal is that